Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Great. Today, we're going to explore some pretty fundamental ideas from the Law of One.
Oh, excellent choice.
We'll be working with excerpts from an online article by Toby Wheelock.
Okay.
And get ready to unpack some pretty mind-bending concepts.
Yeah.
Because we're about to take a crash course in how the spiritual framework views reality.
It's a fascinating system. It all starts with this really bold idea, the one infinite creator.
Okay.
It's also called infinite intelligence or intelligent infinity. But the core idea is that everything, literally everything, comes from this single source.
So at the most basic level, we're talking about a unified reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Where everything is interconnected.
Yeah, and the Law of One even takes it a step further.
Yep.
It suggests that each piece of creation, from, stars to people,
Right.
contains the essence of the whole creator. Like,
Yeah.
we each have a little piece of that source within us.
That's a pretty big shift from how we normally experience the world, right? I mean, I'm looking around and I see a lot of separate things.
Yeah.
It's hard to wrap my head around the idea that something as vast as the universe
Right.
could be contained within each of us.
It is a challenging concept. The Law of One actually calls our everyday perception of separation an illusion
Okay.
that's designed for the creator to experience itself.
So we're all just like facets of this single infinite being.
Yeah, you could say that.
Playing out these different roles in some kind of cosmic drama.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, what's the purpose of this illusion? Why create a reality where we feel separate?
Well, that's where the concept of distortion comes in.
Okay.
The Law of One describes distortion as anything that moves away from perfect unity.
So if unity is like the starting point, then distortion is what allows for individuality
Yeah.
and diversity.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that moving away from the source?
It's not about good or bad. Distortion is simply the mechanism that allows for experience, for growth. Think about it. Without contrast, without the experience of separation, how could the creator truly know itself?
I see. It's like needing the darkness to appreciate the light.
Exactly.
So are there different types of distortion?
The Law of One outlines 3 primary distortions
Okay.
that shape our reality. The first distortion is free will, and this allows us to choose to experience beneficency, to limit our perspective,
Okay.
and explore the possibilities of separation. It's like saying, okay, creator, let's see what happens if we break things down and
Right.
explore all the different paths.
So free will is kind of the spark that sets this whole cosmic experiment in motion.
Exactly. It's the catalyst for creation, the force that allows for individual choice and experience.
Right. That's free will. What about the second distortion?
The second distortion is love, also known as the logos, or the creative principle.
Hold on. Love is a distortion.
Well, remember, distortion is about moving away from perfect unity. And love,
Right.
love is the driving force that propels creation outwards, generating diversity and complexity.
Okay.
It's the energy that fuels the Big Bang, the impulse to connect and create.
So even though love feels like a unifying force, it's still a movement away from that absolute oneness of the creator.
Precisely.
Okay.
And it gets even more interesting when you consider the concept of different logoi.
Different logo.
Yeah. The Law of One suggests that different logoi, or creative blueprints, govern different systems.
Okay.
Like galaxies, each with its own unique set of laws and characteristics.
So we're not just talking about one universe, but a multitude of universes, each with its own distinct
Exactly.
evolutionary path.
It certainly expands our perspective on the scale and scope of creation.
It does. That's a lot to absorb.
Yeah.
And speaking of fundamental building blocks, that brings us to the third distortion, light. Now, we usually think of light as something that we see, but how does the Law of One define it?
The Law of One describes light as the first visible manifestation of creation,
Okay.
a primordial energy that is intelligent and self-aware.
Wow.
It's the foundation of all physical matter and plays a crucial role in the shape and movement of celestial bodies.
So light is way more than just electromagnetic radiation.
Yes.
It's like this raw, intelligent energy that gives rise to everything we can perceive.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
Light is the fundamental building block, the blueprint upon which the universe is constructed. And this concept of light is closely tied to another intriguing idea, sublogoi.
Okay, so we've got these 3 primary distortions. But how do they actually translate into the reality that we experience?
Right.
This is where things start to get a bit more complex, right?
Right. Think of sub-logo as more specific blueprints
Okay.
within the grand design of creation. So if the logos is the blueprint for a galaxy, the
Hmm.
sub-logos could be something like our sun. Right.
Right.
Each sub-logos individualizes the laws set by the main logos. It brings the cosmic mind into sharper focus.
So it's like a cascading effect.
Mhm.
You have the overall plan of the creator,
Yes.
then the logo shapes a galaxy,
Mhm.
and then sub-logo create individual stars and planetary systems.
Exactly. It's like a fractal pattern where the same basic principles are expressed
Yeah.
at different levels of scale and complexity.
Right.
And it goes even deeper than that. Humans are considered sub-logo.
Are you saying we're like miniature blueprints within the grand scheme of things?
Yes.
That's fascinating, but also a little daunting. What does it mean to be a sub-logo?
It means that we have a unique role to play in the evolution of creation. Each of us is a microcosm of the creator capable of contributing to the grand tapestry of experience. And this brings us to another key concept in the Law of One: densities.
Densities. Is this where we get into the idea of different levels of spiritual evolution? I've heard about this,
Huh?
but I'm still a little fuzzy on the details.
Think of densities as stages of consciousness, each with its own unique lessons and opportunities for growth. There are 7 main densities, and the Law of One describes them as a progression towards greater awareness and understanding.
Okay, so it's like climbing a cosmic ladder, with each rung representing a higher level of consciousness. What's the starting point? What defines the first density?
The first density is the foundation. It's where physical matter coalesces from the raw energy of creation. Think of it as the realm of earth, air, fire, and water, the basic elements coming together to form the building blocks of planets and life.
So first density is pre-life, a kind of primordial soup where the stage is being set for everything that comes after.
Exactly. And then in the second density, we see the emergence of biological life. This is the realm of plants and animals, where consciousness is focused on survival and adaptation to the environment.
It's amazing to think that everything we see around us, all the incredible diversity of life on Earth, evolved from those humble beginnings.
It's a testament to the power of creation and the drive towards greater complexity. And from the instinctual world of second density, we transition to the third density, the density of self-awareness. This is where things get really interesting because this is where we humans come in.
So third density is the realm of conscious choice and individual responsibility. Does that mean other planets could be at different densities?
That's right. Third density is where we become aware of ourselves as individuals, capable of making choices that shape our own destinies and impact the world around us. And according to the Law of One, it's a pivotal density because it's where we choose the direction of our spiritual evolution.
Okay, hold on. Choose a direction. Is there a right way and a wrong way to evolve?
Not in the sense of judgment. The Law of One doesn't say one path is inherently better than the other. It's about choosing a path that resonates with your deepest self, a path that aligns with your values and your understanding of the Creator.
So there's more than one path. What are they?
The Law of One talks about 2 main paths: service to others and service to self.
This is where things get tricky. How do we know which path to choose? And is it possible to switch paths if we realize we're on the wrong one?
There's no simple answer to that. The Law of One suggests that the choice is often made unconsciously, based on our deepest motivations and desires. And while it's possible to change paths, it's not something that happens overnight. It requires a genuine shift in consciousness and a commitment to aligning your actions with your chosen path.
It sounds like a lot of introspection and self-awareness is required to even figure out where you stand. What are some examples of each path?
Think of it this way. Service to others is about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things and acting in ways that benefit the whole. It's about compassion, empathy, and a desire to contribute to the well-being of others. Service to self, on the other hand, is about focusing on personal power and individual advancement. It's about seeking knowledge and power for your own benefit, even if it means putting your needs above others.
I can see how both paths have their own logic and appeal. But it seems like there could be a lot of gray area. Is it always clear-cut whether an action is service to others or service to self?
It can definitely be tricky. Sometimes actions that appear to be selfless are motivated by a desire for recognition or reward. And sometimes actions that seem selfish on the surface are actually driven by a deeper understanding of what's best for the individual and ultimately for the collective.
So, intentions matter. But how do we know if our intentions are truly pure? Is there a way to check our motivations and ensure we're on the right track?
The Law of One emphasizes self-awareness and honesty as key tools for navigating these complex questions. It encourages us to examine our thoughts and actions without judgment, to see ourselves as we truly are, and to strive to align our choices with the path that resonates with our deepest understanding of the Creator.
Okay, so we've got these two paths.
Yeah.
What happens next? What comes after third density?
Once we've navigated the challenges and lessons of third density, we have the opportunity to graduate, so to speak, to fourth density, the density of love and understanding. It's a realm where compassion and empathy are the guiding forces, where individuals come together in communities focused on growth and spiritual evolution.
So it's like a collective awakening, a shifting consciousness that impacts not just individuals, but entire societies.
Exactly. The Law of One calls these communities social memory complexes, where individuals share their experiences and knowledge for the benefit of the whole. And one of the most intriguing aspects of fourth density is that beings have much longer lifespans than we do in third density and can even consciously influence their physical forms.
It sounds like a world where we've transcended many of the limitations and challenges we face here in third density. What happens after fourth density?
The journey continues. Fifth density is the density of light or wisdom. It's a realm of deeper exploration into the mysteries of creation, where beings seek knowledge and understanding beyond the limitations of the physical realm.
So it's like becoming a cosmic scholar, delving into the deepest secrets of the universe.
You could say that. And fifth density beings are often described as radiant and beautiful because they've mastered the ability to shape their physical forms with their thoughts. They've achieved a level of mastery over both their inner and outer worlds.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued by fifth density, but we're not done yet, right? What lies beyond the realm of wisdom and light?
Sixth density is the density of unity, where love and wisdom are blended together, creating a profound sense of oneness with all things. It's also the density where Ra, the source of the Law of One teachings, exists.
So Ra is a sixth density being, sharing wisdom from a higher level of understanding. It makes me wonder, what does a sixth density being even look like? Do they have physical bodies?
That's a great question. The Law of One doesn't provide specific details about the physical appearance of sixth density beings, but it suggests that they've transcended the limitations of physical form as we understand it. They exist in a state of unity consciousness, where individual identities are merged into a collective awareness.
That's a difficult concept to grasp. It's like trying to imagine a color you've never seen before.
It's definitely a stretch for our third density minds, but the Law of One encourages us to expand our thinking and embrace the possibility of realities that exist beyond our current comprehension.
I'm trying. Okay, so sixth density is about unity consciousness. What about the final stage? What defines the seventh density?
The seventh density is described as the gateway density. It's the culmination of the evolutionary journey, where we prepare to merge back into the oneness of the Creator. It's a realm of completion and a turning towards timelessness.
So it's like the end of the journey and the beginning of something new all at the same time. It's hard to imagine what comes after merging back with the Creator. Does individuality cease to exist? Do we simply become part of the infinite oneness?
Those are profound questions that the Law of One doesn't explicitly answer. It suggests that the seventh density is a realm beyond our current comprehension, a state of being that transcends our limited understanding of time, space, and individuality.
It's mind-boggling to think about, but it's also incredibly inspiring. If we're all on this journey back to the source, it gives a whole new meaning to the idea of interconnectedness.
It does. And it makes you wonder about our current place in this grand cosmic scheme. Where do we fit into this framework of densities?
And that's what I've been wondering this whole time. What density is Earth currently in? And what does that mean for our future?
Well, according to the Law of One, Earth is currently transitioning from third density to fourth density.
Okay, so that means we're in a period of intense change and upheaval,
Exactly.
like a cosmic growing pain.
Yeah, as we shift towards a higher level of consciousness.
Okay, that makes sense. But what does that actually look like?
Well,
Will we wake up one morning and everyone is radiating love and light? Or is it more subtle than that?
it's definitely more of a gradual process. The Law of One suggests that fourth density energies are slowly becoming more prominent on the planet, influencing our individual and collective consciousness.
Okay, so no beam of light from the sky transporting us to a utopian society.
Not quite. It's more about a shift in our values, priorities, and perceptions.
Okay.
As fourth density energies intensify, we can expect to see a growing awareness of interconnectedness, a deeper understanding of compassion and empathy,
Right.
and a greater desire for harmony and peace.
That sounds hopeful, but what about the people who aren't ready for this shift?
Right.
I mean, not everyone is on board with this whole love and light thing.
Right.
What happens to them as Earth transitions to fourth density?
Well, that's where the concept of the harvest comes in.
The harvest.
The law of one suggests that at the end of each density, there's a natural sorting process. Those who have aligned themselves with the lessons of that density, whether service to others or service to self, will naturally gravitate towards the next level.
So it's not like a judgment, but more of a natural progression based
Yeah.
on our choices and alignment.
Exactly. Those who haven't aligned themselves with either path will continue their journey on another third density planet, where they can continue to work through the lessons of self-awareness and choice.
So it's like a cosmic reshuffling, ensuring that everyone is in an environment that supports their continued growth.
That's a good way to think about it. It's not about punishment or reward,
Right.
but about providing the optimal conditions for each soul's evolution.
Okay, so that makes me think about free will.
Mm.
If there's this natural sorting process, does that mean our choices don't really matter? Like, is our destiny predetermined?
Well, the law of one really emphasizes that free will is paramount.
Okay.
Even though there's a natural flow to the evolution of consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
we always have the power to choose our path. The harvest is simply a reflection of the choices we've made consciously or unconsciously.
That's reassuring. It means we have agency in our own evolution. It also makes me wonder, though, what can we do to prepare for this transition?
Mm.
How can we align ourselves with these fourth density energies and ensure we're on the right track?
Well, the law of one offers some practical guidance on this. Remember the advice about always beginning and ending in the creator?
Right, right.
That's a good place to start.
So focusing on our connection to the source, cultivating love and compassion, and acting from a place of unity rather than separation.
Exactly. And the law of one also stresses the importance of seeking knowledge and understanding. It encourages us to question our assumptions, expand our consciousness, and strive to see the bigger picture.
It sounds like it's not just about being a good person, but about actively engaging with the world around us, seeking wisdom and making conscious choices that align with our highest understanding.
That's a great way to summarize it. It's about becoming conscious co-creators of our reality, both individually and collectively.
This is a lot to process,
Yeah.
but it's also incredibly inspiring. It feels like we're standing at the dawn of a new era, a time of great transformation and possibility.
It's certainly an exciting time to be alive. And the law of one offers a valuable framework for navigating these changes and embracing the opportunities that lie ahead.
It really has been an incredible deep dive, from the concept of the one infinite creator to the complexities of densities and the power of choice. The law of one offers a profound perspective on the nature of reality and our place within it.
It's a reminder that we are all interconnected, that we have the power to shape our own destinies, and that we are all on a journey back to the source.
Beautifully said. Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought from the law of one. If our reality is an illusion designed for the creator to experience itself, what does that suggest about the nature of our individual lives and experiences? It's something to ponder as you continue your exploration of this fascinating spiritual framework. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep your hearts and minds open to the infinite possibilities.